Thank you all for listening to A Fool's Quest. As an additional way to connect with us and to help support the show, you can become a member of the official A Fool's Quest Patreon. All of our subscription tiers include ad-free episodes and access to a Patreon Discord channel. And membership comes with other privileges, including ad-free episodes, early access to new episodes, A Fool's Quest art, music, and world lore, merchandise giveaways, Discord perks and status, bonus episodes, and behind-the-scenes content you won't get anywhere else. Presently, all proceeds will be reinvested right back into the show, bringing you even more of the quality content we've enjoyed sharing with you so far. And if Patreon just isn't your thing, no worries. You can still enjoy the same foolishness every Friday, just as you have been. Patreon is completely a bonus for those who would like to directly support the show and connect with the cast. To check out the Patreon details as well as subscription tiers and benefits, just go to patreon.com/A Fool's Quest or follow the link on our homepage at afoolsquest.com. And remember, stay safe, we love you all, and most importantly, stay foolish. Background music and ambience brought to you in part by Midnight Syndicate. Music for the imagination and the perfect musical accompaniment for the Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game.
Okay, so I guess welcome to what is Season 3, the wrap-up of A Fool's Quest, The Villains. And I am James. I'm going to be pretending to be Nico today and I guess take you through this journey that is the wrap-up of Season 3. I guess we should probably start by just getting everyone to say hi and remind anyone who has somehow managed to stumble upon this episode without listening to the previous 40-odd of them, nearly 50, I guess, who you are, what you've been doing, and then we'll get into some questions about the show, really, about the season so far. So let's go round and let's start with Nico.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, James, for being our host of the interview, not finale, interview. I'm Nico. I'm the DM of A Fool's Quest, and that's pretty much it for me. We are in year 2 of this show. This is season 3 for us, and these interviews are one of our favorite things to do. So we're really excited to be doing this with one of our favorite people. Oh. And pass the torch over to Shamas. I'll just keep it going.
You did it. I'm so proud of you. I'm Shamas on purpose, and I play Hashphone Eggers. That's probably the best villain, arguably, that's out there. Maybe not the most notable, but definitely the best. And and with that being said, I will then pass it on to Ada.
Hi guys, this is Jess. I play Ada, the Drow Rogue. Kick it over to Tony.
Oh, I'm Tony, and I'm Francis the Lion. Which, automatically means Shamas was wrong when he said he's the best.
Sitting side saddle.
Oh, nice. Well,
but we both do. But we both sit side saddle. You're the only one that doesn't.
Why couldn't you sit facing each other? Why?
It's funnier that way.
Oh, I nearly died listening to that. So honestly, guys, it's been such a journey for me, and I've very recently gone back and started all the way from the beginning and just listened to the villains episodes one after the other, just to really get immersed into your story. And some of the things I picked up for the second listen through have just been unbelievably funny.
Yeah. What's a moment or two of your favorite?
I mean,
just to kick us off.
I have to say the I'm sorry notes, the constant ones, and
I'm so sorry.
and I think the progression of hearing how Jess, your character just gradually becomes more and more irate and just completely given up with trying to get the guys to do anything useful, and you just get on with everything. I just love that journey all the way through. You had so much optimism about doing stuff, and towards the end of it, you're just like, oh yeah, fuck those guys, just whatever. And I was sorry, the Sesame Boulevard, I nearly died.
Man.
I just absolutely loved it. Oscar, just brilliant. And I have to say this: I am still to this day not convinced if you guys really are the villains.
You know, it's up in the air.
It's hard to tell.
Same.
We're pretty okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know if it's the way Gagmay's coming across, but that to me, more and more, they're sounding like the bad guys. I've got to be honest.
Two evils, you know.
I mean, the college bar, though.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, that was pretty dark.
Like, how many of those drinks are spiked? Barely.
Put in one.
You single-handedly were like, you know what? You're across town. Let me
She would've blown my
hand
cover.
deliver you.
You did.
You're doing what now?
You did go out of your way to put one last person in there to made them unlock
She
the
knows
doors.
too much.
I do what I do.
She was like, oh my gosh, yes, I'll totally give you my skirt. Like, here you go. Here's my sweater. Oh my gosh, I'll bring you right in. Are you hungry? Do you need a shower?
And then stole her entire identity.
Like, merde.
Ada really came up and said, "You're doing what now?" Oh, I got one more.
No, this one needs to go in there first. Like, no, I just tied this. Oh.
My favorite sweater.
Oh dear, Nana. Oh dear, Nana.
Oh,
Nana.
Nana.
I love Nana.
I think we'll start with the questions, and I think this has to be a personal question of mine. How long do I have to wait until Nana comes back?
I think that one's for Nico.
Yeah, you could ask Nico, but I'm pretty sure that's a BEG. I think that's... I think we started something.
Nana, no.
I think it's the new Sauron. I think we're all screwed.
So I will say, anytime there's an NPC that strikes a chord with either the heroes or the villains, that I always bring them back. So at some point, Nana will be back, and probably in season 4. So
Yay.
we will see how that unfolds.
I hope so, because Nana to me is just a fraction below the ranking from Macy on my
Is it
list of
'cause she
favorite
survived?
NPCs.
If she would
she's
have
right
died,
up
she would have
there.
been, like, beat Macy. But
Yes.
because she lives, she's just below.
Yeah.
I send her
Yeah.
postcards. Let her know what we're up to.
She only reads it as death. Like,
They're banana soap scented notes.
Absolutely.
Every time you see a seagull,
Just imagine her there, like these really threatening notes just coming through, just like, "I'm sorry, blood stains," one of them slightly charred. Just a series of postcards from wherever you've been. Just I'm sorry,
and,
written
like,
in
opening
someone
up like
else's blood.
16 different pieces of mail, and she's like reading it. She's like, "Oh, those poor people. Oh, they're there now. Those poor people."
I like to keep her up to date.
Wait, does Nana have like a map in one of her rooms with like the like red yarn that's like pointing everywhere that we've been, and she's like mapping it out. She's like,
like a big CIA map on where the
"I've been
criminal
investigating
activity has
them for
occurred.
13 years."
Oh, wow! Just don't tell the authorities anything about it, because all the evidence is there. Right. So I've got a series of questions for you to investigate the story and what you guys, and find out a little bit about you guys and what your characters are and what you've thought of the season. So I guess we'll kick off then after my inspired question. So I think we'll go around the group and tell us a little about your character. What inspired you and how did you come up with those characters? So, Tony.
Francis the Lion. I don't know. I really like Big Trouble in Little China, so physically that's, how I came up with the description. Just like, yeah, I think he should have that, fantastic mullet. I don't really know how I came up with the attitude of him, other than, he's a bard and a gladiator, and just seems like he should be kind of full of himself. And he absolutely believes he's the best at everything.
Okay.
Even if he's never done it.
Tony and I have been playing D&D together like the longest. He and I started, forever ago playing. And he always made all of his characters after John Cusack characters, every single one, forever. And so when he sat down and brought this character, it was like, what are we even doing here? Like, this isn't Tony. You're messing up everything.
Nice. I like that. That's a nice change for you then.
Yeah.
To be not John Cusack for once.
That's one thing, because Chris, or Thaddeus, has played with us a long time too, and that's one thing. I think he was the first one who picked up on the fact that every character I've played has been named after a John Cusack character, until Francis the Lion, and he was like, where's the John Cusack? We'll get into that in season 4, I think.
Yeah, season 4.
Okay.
There's some spoiler stuff there.
Ooh, I like it. Nice. Okay, and who wants to go next?
Right? Jess, go ahead. You got this. You're going great.
Go on. You've basically got your hand up.
So, yeah. So, Chris wrote my backstory for Ada as well. She's obviously a little standoffish at first when she meets the guys, and as she trusts them a little more, she gets a little more open with how she talks to them, and it's a lot like me, in all honesty. It's a lot of fun to play, and as the season goes on and she develops more, I think she's going to become a little more badass.
Nice.
I imagine it's going to be like seeing the current version now versus like future version of yourself that comes back and like has an eye patch and is all like battle scarred with like weapons. You're like, you don't know the horrors I've lived through, and then it's like, oh no.
Oh, definitely.
Remember me, Nana.
Grabs the soap.
When I go back to see Nana, she's gonna freak out.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's an important question though. Is Ada going to continue up her showering regime? Like even wading through bloody hordes of violence and fire, is she still going to have regular 2 showers a day?
Love to be clean.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, she's definitely gonna want to. Whether or not the opportunity arises remains to be
And
seen.
at this rate, like, we have Hesh given prestidigitation just to make sure it happens on a regular basis, even if we don't hit civilization. So,
I can do it too,
oh yeah, do it, prove
yeah.
it. Stop making me do it so much.
Whoa. So even wow. Yeah.
So for this one, I really wanted to go out of my own depth, create a character that was malicious and mischievous and a trickster, and definitely really just play something that's not like me at all, not like schlarmy. What's that? Is that the word? Who's very intelligent, and never misses a beat. That whole thing. So that's pretty much Hesh. All of his plans go directly as he planned it. Lots of thought gets put into it. And, that's that. No, I'm pretty much playing myself. If I could have like a Cthulhu, like patron, like a Cthulhu warlock daddy, if I could have one of those, that's basically Hesh. But also looking a bit like, Jude Law. Like, so if I was handsome and I could have magic powers and a top hat, I do imagine him with a top hat and a nice cane and now a baby.
Carlos!
If you want to call it that.
He's my special boy.
I'm babysitting that thing.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to learn more about the Von Eggers? And is Carlos a Von Egger
I'm not
as well?
saying that I have like a page or so written out about it or whatever, but you know, if it comes up, I like it to be natural. So if it comes out naturally, absolutely. But I'm really into the story right now. As you can see, we don't get sidetracked. We're just very like into the main story.
Oh yeah.
Shut up. Get out of
Absolutely
here.
no distractions.
Right. It's like complete honesty though, like the two main focuses of me as a player right now, well actually three. So 3 is now my baby, Nana, and the clab. Like
The clab.
I want to make sure
Clab.
those things live on no matter what they become. Like
Yes, the whole running joke with C's in general.
Yep. Are you going to be a silent partner in the C Lab?
yeah, be a silent partner. So, nope, I don't have a pun for that. Let's move on. I was thinking of all the letters that could be silent
Wow.
in partner, and then it just wasn't that funny. So let's move on.
No.
I guess, Nico, I mean, you don't have a character per se, but you've got about 30 or 40 NPCs to you know, what were your inspiration for, let's say, 2 of your top NPCs from the Villain's Quest so far?
Well, going into it, I had plans for Temple and Carl, but those plans just didn't work out with what the villains decided, what paths they decided to take. So they were kind of short-lived. So I would honestly say probably the 2 characters that I like that just kind of naturally came into play. One was Nana, obviously. That was not something that was planned, just off the wall, completely insane. And the other, I think, was Yoshi, who was in the Mario Castle.
Oh, yeah.
And
Obviously.
the whole scene with Hesh was just completely way off the rails from anything that I had thought was going to happen. So I just... So Yoshi continues to make appearances now going forward as well. So, I would say both of those. I mean, Yoshi just made sense because I already had the Mario Brothers put together.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's a mushroom person, my Conid, but he is. And Nana was just she got her own theme song. So.
Yeah.
I think, but like the whole Nana thing was just like off the cuff of like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Like, oh, we should get some food, we should get some clothes. I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just like make use of someone who's already doing that?
Just-
Like,
Brilliant.
they already have a
Why don't we
home.
just scam a senior citizen?
Yeah. Like, where's Ada? She just comes out of the shower and we're like, yeah, good, we're all here. Great. Where's the pie? Like, Nana, enough.
Nana, I'm so
the
sorry.
Yoshi thing was that
Cool.
Hesh is just a helper, you know? That's why they call him Helping Hesh.
Right. Who says that?
I know, right?
Who
It's
calls
like,
you that?
It's like everybody, who directly. You can't really point out any one person because it's basically everybody. Let's move on.
Dude,
Okay, so a question to the group then. Have any of you played a villain before?
I have.
Ooh.
Actually, Malfador, Mike, ran a villainous campaign for a while. I played an evil druid who was just unstoppable. I guess I wasn't as evil as the rest of the party, though. I mean, I was kind of evil, but I just more wanted to just, burn down civilization, but everyone else was a little more evil.
Wow.
A little more evil than mass chaos and destruction.
Yeah. More of organized evil. That feels a lot more sort of like planned.
They were I guess, crueler about things. I was just like, no, forget civilization, society. Those things are useless. Get rid of them. They were like, oh, let's torture people.
Down with tax
Feed
returns.
children to mimics. Oh, we did tame a mimic in that campaign, though. It was great.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
nice.
kind of an accident, but worked out. We had picked up a sentient greatsword, and we tossed it in a bag of holding with a mimic, and the greatsword's personality sort of, I don't know, ate the mimic's personality, and then we recruited it to guard our stuff. as long as we fed it people.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Hence the orphans.
Simultaneously brilliant and so dark. Wow.
Goodness.
Has anyone else played a villain before, or has it all been heroes?
This is actually my first time playing
Nice.
anything, so it's been fun.
You gotta start you off right.
Yeah, yeah, they promised me cookies. It's been a lot of fun.
Dark Side has cookies.
I'd say you definitely can't tell that it's your first time because, I mean, you play the character so well. It's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Totally agree.
Well, there's nothing not to like. The personality seems well rounded, and the character just fits really well with the story. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I guess we'll go around then, and let's say, think about your characters. Where do you think they'd be in 5 years' time? Let's start with you, Ada, then. Since we're talking about it, where do you think Ada's going to be in 5 years' time?
I definitely think she's gonna become more evil as she learns about the Drow and the way they live their life, and probably essentially running her own army.
Ooh. Yeah. You're going to start a Drow rebellion.
Yeah, sure.
I
Why
like
not?
Very cool. Hesh? Where's Hesh going to be?
And obviously rich.
Oh, yeah. Well, that goes without saying. I think you're all going to be rich.
I think Hesh is going to try and be the equivalent of Emperor Palpatine, but in this world. So, behind everything, but above everything. That type of deal. And then to be able to,
Nice.
Dole out his version of justice where he sees fit. So, yeah, that's about it.
Big aspirations. We've got evil army, evil emperor. I mean, is Francis the Lion just going to still be winning bar fights and stealing legs?
I mean, if we're going with the Star Wars
from
comparison,
pirates.
I'd say Francis the Lion is going to be more like Jabba the Hutt. Just sort of rich
living
guy,
harem, you know.
Maybe have some henchmen and whatnot. Whatever gets him the most with the least amount of work. I mean, that's
Nice.
That's upon completion of his life's goal, which is the elimination of Gagny because they wronged him.
Like when you eat the last bagel,
Wow.
Francis the Lion shows up. And he's like, what?
Yes. Oh yeah, he's way pettier than the other two, I think, but that's all right. Yes. Also probably less self-aware.
I do love the sort of the position of a gladiator bard. I think that's just such a creative character. I really like. You'd think gladiator, you'd probably pick like a fighter class or something like that. I love the concept of being a bard as well. I really like.
Yeah, he's a born showman. He really puts on a show for the audience. If there's a bar fight in season 4, we might see his special move.
Oh.
That's going to be a surprise for Nico
The
too.
Kamehameha wave?
No, not yet.
I also would like to know what this surprise.
Oh no, he's got a better one. He calls it magic missile.
So I guess that brings me on to what is all of your favourite moments from season 3?
Ooh, I think mine is just everything with the running C gag. Just the running gag with the letter C. I love it.
The Chagals.
The Chagals and the Chags and the Clab.
I have people reach out to me on Twitter now about Chags all the time. Every time there's a SEAG reference, they're like, Chags! It happens
That's awesome.
much more often than I ever thought it would.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing about season 3.
It's classic. The seagulls thing has I think it's got legs to spread around the world. We could find the whole world in just a few years' time referring to seagulls as chagulls. Ada, then what's your favourite moment?
I don't remember what episode it was, but yeah, going to the college and meeting Ivana Go Deep.
There's a whole family of Go Deeps.
I'm looking forward to hearing the names of the rest of them. Okay, then. I guess Hesh. What's Hesh's favorite
So
moment from season 3?
I was initially thinking it was going to be the Nana thing, but honestly, it was probably the ghost. It was Hesh turning into. Well, sorry, Nico. What was his name? Moses. No, it's not Moses. Was it Moses?
Moses.
I thought it like I had it in my head that it was Moses,
it was
but like
Moses.
I didn't think that it was actually that it was like that was supposed to be like, a key to something else. But yeah, so like dealing with Moses and like
Barbara.
just like because it was for the longest time the whole situation with Nana, and then when we saw them, and then I was like, Hesh is just going to become like him, and then everyone was like, wait, what?
Ada just hides.
And then like we just kind of ran with it, and it became one of the funniest things because like we had no idea what was going on, and then like Nico's just rolling with it, and a lot of that I think came off of your table, right? Your random table of like.
Yeah, it was a random roll table that I made.
The travel
I love
check
that random roll
happened, so
table.
he didn't really know entirely what was going on either, and so like the whole thing unraveled together, and we wound up just. Well, if you listen to it, but that's probably it. That's me peaking as a human. So from now on, everything in my life is downhill, but it's fine because it was worth it. Yeah, it was worth it.
Wow.
Well, Barbara, tell him.
Barbara.
Why don't you show yourself? And I'm like, why don't you
Oh my
show
God,
yourself?
that's
And it's
Tina.
like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm behind this rock.
The nasty, gross salve that he had. He's like trying to put on Francis with giant globs of dirt and salve.
Good stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nico, then, what was your favorite moment?
I would say probably my favorite moment out of the ones that hasn't been mentioned so far was right out the gate when they go to Old McDonald's farm and they get lost in the woods and end up at the McDonald farm. And the whole interaction and burning the house down
Of the
and just
sorry note.
everything that happened in that scene set, I feel like, the whole mood for the entire villains campaign. The whole season is essentially that moment on repeat in a different town.
Will old MacDonald ever get his vengeance?
I would like to point out that that's how you make a natural 2 look like a natural 20. Because we failed our survival check, but we came back with so much more.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I think that whole interaction is when we discovered who we were as people.
Yeah, as people, not even as players
Yep.
or as characters.
That did it.
Just like who I am and who I've always been in real life
In real life.
the past 30-odd years.
I'm just trying to be nice. And here they come. Just nice and calm and collected. And these fucking idiots.
Little, like, she's so naive that she thinks she's got it under control, but we're actually damage control. And then when we leave, the actual damage ensues. And she's like, you knuckleheads. And we're like,
very
you burned
cruel.
it down. We were just gonna take it. We charmed them. We were just gonna take these and go. You burned the whole thing down.
Rotisserie chickens.
She left me on sorry note.
Yeah, she apologized. What you want?
I just want to get yelled at anymore.
And no one made a Hamburglar joke. I mean,
They would have, but they died from smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
They didn't get the chance. Someone stole it from them.
Robble.
oh dear. Oh, a Jen Eric chick is just a piece of class name.
Thank you.
so good. This is Jen. Eric chick.
Her
Oh god.
description came entirely from me asking questions and Tony describing her.
Yep.
Like Nico's like, I don't even
World
need to
building
be
right
here anymore. And Tony's like, no, listen, she's just average height, like brownish, blackish, blondish hair, bluish. Yeah.
Got a
Red
face.
shirt. Hold on, what? Oh, love that. So, if any of you could face off against a hero, which one would you go after, and who do you think would win?
I mean, I could take Malfador because I'm quicker than him. I don't know. That's Francis's whole strategy especially in a duel, is just to hit and fade, and they can't keep up with him and just keep taking little hits. If Hold Person doesn't work. If it does work, then even better.
Yeah, if I keep rolling the way I do, I think I could take on all of them, honestly.
Fair enough.
Have you got those special dice that just have 20 on all the sides, by the way?
I'm not telling. But honestly,
the opposite ones from Malfaders, it just has ones.
Thaddeus has told me that he would just blast me with Fireball, so that would be it.
Whoa, bold statement. Who would Hesh take?
He has Hesh has a particular eye out for Mr. IPA, but he's no longer active.
I mean, he's a goat.
He's a goat. He's that goat man.
He delivers beer to other universes, so
wow. I mean, when his name's not getting pulled through the mud. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So it would be less of like if I could only do, or if Hesh could only do one, and more like in what order. So you'd fight them all. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if Nico, you've got some, if you've got one, I won't say which character, but I mean, if you've got a hero that you'd like to be in a fight.
Yeah, who are your favorites? He wants to know who your favorites are.
If you were a villain, who would you want to fight? Yeah.
You could save one child. Which childs would they be?
Rank all the player characters.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite player? Whose name do you see pop up and you go, oh, I wish I had.
Hi, look, I can tell you, that's me right now.
No, I don't know. Like, I think as far as matchups go, I think there are a couple matchups that make sense if this is a workaround angle for this question. I think the two bards going face to face between Francis and MC Nastley makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like the dark pacts that both Hesh and Malfader have with two different patrons for their warlock abilities makes sense. And then having Ada and Thaddeus go head to head is just funny because they are a couple in real life, and I think that's just funny to make them fight each other.
Hit first, hit hard. What is it? Cobra Kai.
Strike first,
strike
no
hard.
mercy.
No mercy.
Yeah, yep.
No mercy. There you go. Nice. Okay. If you could pick anyone to play your character, then who would it be? I'm going to, we won't limit it to current celebrities, like anyone from the past as well. Who would you have play your character if it wasn't you? Or in the movie of A Fool's Quest. When it comes out in 3 years' time, the contracts are just being signed. Who are you casting?
I would go with Xena, Lucy Lawless, back in those days. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's a badass. She played awesome.
I can see that.
I think that would best portray my character.
I can see that.
Great
Very
name.
Yeah.
No nonsense.
There's a blast from the past.
David Tennant. I would go for David Tennant.
David Tennant as Hesh, yeah.
Yeah, like, I can see that.
From like some Jessica Jones style when he was
when he's sinister, he's like Jessica Jones style. When but most any other time he's Doctor Who. Like
Kilgrave. Kilgrave is the name. Yeah. I could see that. Creepy fuck.
Well, Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Obviously.
Kurt Russell.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, we all knew that was going to happen.
I was really hoping like Sandra Bullock. She really gets into character. Just, yeah.
Congeniality days.
Demolition Man. I don't know why I said it that way, and I really wish I didn't.
I don't know either.
Demolishman.
Is there
hello, yes, the name is Jeff Demolishman. Hello?
Teddy bear.
I'm of the Demolishman estate, yes. You may have read about us.
Esquire.
Yeah, I'm NPC for season 4.
Edward's demolishment.
With a mullet.
Could we get Betty White as Nana? Could we get
Yes.
that done?
Oh, that'd be so
No,
good.
because what if something happens to her? She's a treasure.
And then you'll have Nana's funeral. And it will be an
No.
emotional
Like our
day.
enemies, because we know that they'll show up and they'll be in one place, and just like Nana would
Yeah.
have wanted.
They actually say her name. Yeah, they don't call her Nana.
What is Nana's name?
Have her real name.
Such a good question.
We don't know.
Hesh throws himself on the coffin.
Crawl inside.
Take me, take me.
Straight out of the shower.
Still in the towel.
I want to hear in season 4. I want to find out Nana's
Jeff
real
Goldblum.
name.
Yeah. All right.
Jeff Goldblum.
Spoilers. Hey, I'm Nana, and
It could be Christopher Walken, you know. But no, it was Nana. There's a little mouse, and this little
my
mouse
baby,
is in a
and they
bucket of
ruined my
milk.
joke, and now we have to go with the Carlos joke because my joke couldn't come to fruition. Mine was the long game, and it took too long. Now it's Carlos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the full
His name was
fighters.
Chris, and it was also Walken, and then when you put them together, it was Christopher Walken. But it didn't come to fruition. It's okay.
You're welcome.
Carlos is definitely better.
Yeah, Carlos.
You can't fight the current. You gotta go with it.
You don't have a choice.
We don't share custody.
Number B. Amazing. So, where would you guys like to see your characters going in season 4? Like, what's the strategy? Without giving too much away, what are you hoping that you're going to take your characters on to do in the next season?
Well, Francis's whole goal at this point is, I mean, maybe not a goal so much as if he's got the opportunity to destroy Gagme, he blames them for ruining his life, even though it's not that bad. So that's kind of why he's...
Did they just kick him off a WhatsApp chain? Is this what the big secret is going to be? Just boot him out of a WhatsApp chain?
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. No, he's kind of going along with Duche's plans because he sees it as an opportunity to be a thorn in their side, and he's, well, a petty bitch. Which that's part of my real life personality. Absolutely. I hold grudges forever. So, it's pretty easy to play. But yeah, he's just going to be hanging out with Duche and taking every opportunity he can to make things worse for Gagme until he can just bring him down.
Nice. Is it going to be now taking on Gagme? Are you like when you see it happening? Are you going to take him down? Is it going to be fire and explosion and death of every? Is this going to be Order 66, or is it more of an institutional dissolution where the organization's power is just slowly destroyed by acts of violence in their name and. What's the end goal here? Are we physically wiping them out, or are we just going to discredit them until they hold no hold left over the world?
The latter. It's more about just ruining their credibility with the general public, and just having them become this reviled institution instead of one that's looked up to. Because that's how Francis sees them, as a bunch of jerks who wronged him and continue to wrong other people, probably.
Nice. So a strongly worded poster campaign is in the near future.
Yeah, it's
when Francis Line got Hesh into gearing against the Gagme at the beginning of the season, that was basically Hesh's idea as well. It's let's pick some Gagme people to portray as, and then just smear their whole visage in front of everybody, and show them in his eyes, show them who they truly are, show the people who Gagme truly is. But yeah, so your second option is definitely, I think, the one we're going for.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Hesh has been spending the time smearing a former Gagme member, though, has he not?
Yeah. There's more to come, but yeah, one in particular. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that he was a little sad when he got replaced because, he definitely wanted to see if he could 1v1 in IRL, but it's evolving. The plan's evolving.
I'm kind of hoping to see you all just portraying the current heroes at the same time in some sort of weird mind warp where you go out and do the same adventures, but yeah. And you both end up in the same place, just being the same people. So you end up facing. I'm looking forward to that moment.
So which one of them are going to be in drag? That's what I don't know. Which hero is going to be the one in drag that's going to look like Ada? Because
that's a question for the group. Who do we reckon?
Not us like them. And I think it's the Satyr. I think he's going to be in drag for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's MC.
Like a flimsy fake slap dagger.
A rebel sword.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Ada, what's Ada going to be doing? Like, what's the strategy in season 4?
She doesn't really have a plan. They come up with it, and she just follows.
Yeah,
Just want to
Making it
beat
work.
the shit out of them. That portal fight.
You hurt worse than I do.
I feel like that's what would happen.
Oh, that's the turtle fight was just brutal.
Yeah.
My baby, though.
Like, Nico, you can't have been prepared for them to completely destroy your characters at that point.
Oh man, Hold Person is such an insanely good spell, mixed with Ada's ability to just roll the dice and fuck up anything with the quickness.
Crit sneak, sneak.
I don't like.
Did you stick little "I'm sorry" post-its to their like cold dead
No,
shells?
because I didn't even want to be there. I was just
They could have
pissed.
run anywhere in the street.
no,
they
I'm
had to
sorry,
run
no,
into
to
me
them.
with my baby.
They had it coming. Let's face it.
Probably carved some emojis on them.
Oh my god, the emojis are still one of my favorite.
I love the emojis.
favorites.
Woo!
Yep.
Oh, so good, so good. I think a question that I'm dying to ask you guys, because I spoke to Nico about this about the other guys, is and I subsequently asked my team, who here has not seen Firefly? Then
I haven't. Not one episode.
Shame.
Brave for coming forward and saying that, because that's the
Yeah.
first step.
I
Is
mean,
realizing
yeah, I mean,
you have
that's-
a problem.
the honesty is good.
The next step is fixing it.
It's not
Fix it.
something that ever caught my eye to
It's
watch.
like a Western
so the reference
and a
just
spaceship
go
show at once. It's
right
amazing.
over my head. I mean, they've got a movie, Cowboys versus Aliens, with Daniel Craig. I've seen that, so
It's
Yeah,
not
no.
that.
It's nothing like that. It's way better.
They do have a movie though. To be
Yep,
fair,
yeah. Serenity.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Serenity.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
can't
they're
watch that
not-
until you
so
watch the
I don't-
series.
right over the head.
Out of the whole cast, it's a 50-50 split then,
Yep.
because Mike and William haven't seen it either. So
Why?
Mike hasn't?
We need to vet the friends more. That's what I'm saying.
Mike has
Like,
not.
We need to.
I know.
We need to replace half the
Yeah,
cast.
this is not. We're not. This is why we can't have nice things. You better start watching Firefly then and liking it.
Well, I had to ask because there's so many, throughout Fool's Quest in general, there's been some fantastic Firefly references. So, I'm and
Thoughts and
Yeah,
prayers. We
well-
all make mistakes.
I'm afraid you've only got yourself to blame for that.
I just look at them and hope they clarify.
I mean,
and if
look,
they don't,
let's
we
face
just
it,
move on.
you've not
so.
just let yourself down, you've let the whole team down. Frankly, you've let the internet down.
I'm sorry. Sincerely, Ada.
So I guess I do have another question. Have any of you looked at the possibility of taking your character in a radically new direction? Not that I'm suggesting you should, but have you considered something like multi-classing? Have you looked at a drastic personality change within the story? Like what is there something that is there a change that you're thinking about, or is it just developing your character further?
I've considered multi-classing into fighter, like a champion fighter. Seems like it would fit great with the whole gladiator bard thing, and just gives a little more durability and damage, I think. But I don't know. I kind of like Francis the Lion as a bard.
I didn't even know that.
I mean, he wouldn't lose that, I guess.
Adding a class was a thing.
Yeah, you can multi-class.
If Nico allows it, I don't know.
Hesh is a warlock / rogue. He's already a multi-class character.
If Ada were to do something like that, it'd probably be something with nature or animals have some kind of companion or something.
Yeah, so Hesh is already, like they said, multi-classed. The roguelock, which I dig. Pretty soon, I'll probably have capped on where I want to go with like the lock spec of it and go back in more of the rogue. But like Iz is probably gonna be more character, so it really depends on how the story evolves like around us, because I really appreciate what Nico's done with like having these parallel storylines and the fact that there's background stuff going regardless of what we do. That's something that I've always enjoyed. I always really like. It's really difficult to keep track of, and I appreciate it. But because of that, it's more difficult for someone like me to be like, oh, this is exactly what my character will evolve into, or like where I'm leading to, because it's reactive. So like he could be neutral, which is the most likely of outcomes for Hesh, is like that he's just neutral, does some benevolent things, is malevolent sometimes, but all around is more about power and position. He could definitely go more evil, or he could be that necessary evil for like a real benevolent force. So like it could really go anyway. But I think overall he wants to be like, he wants to usurp Duché and wipe out Gagme, so that there's no competition, but that he gets to run stuff the way he likes it. And right now it's looking real good for his plans. So
it's actually looking not so much to wipe out Gagme, but more to sort of take it over.
Like bend the knee, or get to like lose the head.
Nice. Oh, cool. Yeah. Nico, it's all too often we spend too much time talking about the characters, but you're a massive driving force behind this show, and frankly, I'm astonished and amazed at how much work you've put into the show. Not just in the villain story, but the fact you've been able to keep two completely parallel stories running simultaneously. Yeah. So, firstly, I want to say bloody well done, because wow. And secondly, I want to ask, what do you want? What was your vision for the show? Where did you see it going? And, what have you got, without giving away too much, what sort of teasers have you got in mind for the future?
Well, I do have the next 2 seasons planned out, season 4 and season 5. And I actually planned them to be shorter just because I know with all the shenanigans both sides gets into that'll still be really, really long for both seasons. But I really like the idea of the portals and the magic and everything that's happening right now in the world and how that impacts both sides. And you made the joke earlier, but are these guys really the bad guys, even though they're marked the villains campaign, or is Gagme the bad guys? And I think, even the heroes, when I talk to them, they're like, we don't fucking know. We might be the bad guys. Are we the bad guys? And so I just really like that feeling, and I want to embrace that feeling all the way through to the end of season 5, and kind of see. It really depends on the players, right? Like, who is the bad guys? And so I want to get to the end of to the end of season 5 and really see who's the bad guys, or are any of them the bad guys, or are they all just doing their own thing? So we'll find out. I'm super excited, but there's a really big evolution coming for it, and there is a lot, like Shamas said, a lot happening in the world already.
Wow. I'm really excited, really, really excited, because up until very recently, I've been listening to every show as it comes out, that week. And I'll say very recently I've gone back through your backlog to listen to just the Villains campaign to really sort of involve myself in the whole story back to back. But yeah, it just astonishes me like how much work you have put into this. It's incredible. And I think every single one of you is amazing on the show. And I think that, I think it's a pleasure to listen to, and I'm really grateful to be invited on to be hosting this for you guys. And
yeah, absolutely. I will say, I mean, I love your show as well. I listen every week, and I know actually pretty much almost everybody in the cast has listened to Roll Britannia. So we all appreciate you coming on and doing this. And honestly, I wouldn't be in, this show wouldn't be what it is without the 6 people, without the Fools in general, all 6 of them. It just wouldn't be what it is without them. They're all amazing. They make the show. The world building is a team effort. It's not just me telling a story and them reacting. It's completely built together as a group. And I know you do something very similar in Roll Britannia. So, hats off to you as well. And I'm really looking forward to, both of our shows getting that movie deal that we were just talking about.
Yeah, well, it's a complicated conversation going on, but I think we'll get there. we have to get the Fools onto the into RB at some point. We really do.
Oh yeah, looking at future crossover. So
Yeah.
Wow. So I think that just about wraps up all the questions I've got.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think. Go on then.
Yeah, I don't know if Twitter has reached out about this at all, but I'm here to put a stop to it. The Heshada relationship is not a thing.
The what? Wait, the what?
Wait, what?
Heshada.
Hashtag Heshada.
I was not aware of this. What?
Nor was I.
Is Jess making it up right now, or is this an actual thing?
No, when you disguise yourself as me for the goldenrods, we called you Heshada. We were shipped.
Yeah.
So I'm just laying that rumor to rest. It's not a thing.
Oh, yes, it is.
Like, it is now. If you steal Carlos, what do you think this is gonna be? You should have thought about this.
I love the nuance of Ada going in dressed as a bounty hunter, finding herself, and Hesh going in as Ada. Just love that. It just evolved into something so
better in the
complicated.
outfit than you did. He filled it out.
No.
The dump truck
Straight
for
chaos.
days.
Who wore it best?
Straight up.
Ada.
So
Thick
good.
with 3 C's.
So good.
That was a fun session.
Thank you so much for hosting this.
So I mean, it's absolutely my pleasure. I'm really delighted to actually be able to meet all of you, because I think I've met 1 or 2 of you previously, but it's great to speak to the whole team, as it were, all the villains. Anyway, I'm hoping one day I can have one mega call with all of you.
Let's get him on.
Well, hold on, Chris is right here. I can just call over.
Nico, get on the phone now. Thank you absolutely so much for having me on the show. And if it's quite all right, I'll just do a quick cheeky little plug for my show.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
When you're all caught up with A Fool's Quest and you've got to the end of this episode and there isn't another one yet because it's not out till next week, head over to your choice of podcatcher, probably the one you're listening to this on, unless you're a maverick and just like to listen to them on different ones. You can find Roll Britannia pretty much everywhere. Just search Roll Britannia, or if you're in the UK, you can search Dungeons and Dragons, and we're pretty much the top podcast,
Which
is bizarre.
Very nice.
Never thought that would happen. It's a bit like Roll Britannia, only not quite as well produced and full of piratey nonsense. And it is quite well. I like it, but Nico puts in so much work. No, it's really great, and we come out every Wednesday, so you can listen to us on a Wednesday. Fool's Quest on a Friday. Yeah. It's just starting to fill your week up. I love it. And yeah, check us out on Twitter at Roll Britannia, Facebook, the Discord, all of those things. I mean, you know, Nico's on all of those as well, so you know you'll feel right at home.
Yes.
And I'll actually put the link to Roll Britannia's links in this episode notes. So
Awesome.
You can just grab the notes and go to their site and start listening to them because they are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys. I think that wraps us up then, right?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Good
And
night.
I look forward to
James.
hearing you next episode.
On to season 4.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This concludes this episode of A Fool's Quest. Join us next time for more fun and daring adventure. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, review, and comment on your favorite platform to listen to A Fool's Quest.
Yeah.